Hi! Today I would like to talk about aim assist, and no, this is not the big video about aim assist that I'm working on. In this video I just want to give a short example with actual gameplay and where I see the issues with the way aim assist currently works. So this is from a relatively new video from Noxic, and no, he's not the subject of this video, it's just his gameplay. This is an Elite Ops ranked game, as you can probably tell by some of the people that are in the game. This fact alone tells us that all the players in this game are among the 250 best players the game has to offer right now, which should now show us the very best the game can do in terms of gameplay. We will jump right into the pistol round where Noxic gets 2 kills in elbow and A backside and then finds himself in a 1 vs 3 clutch, pinned to a box and surrounded by 3 of the best players the game has to offer. So there should be no fucking way of winning this, right? Now what would be the logical thing to do in this situation for the CTs? The obvious answer is push him with all 3 people, because there's no fucking way he's dealing 300 damage to 3 separate targets faster than those 3 targets manage to hit him once. That's not even gonna happen against gold players, right? So how does he end up winning this? And just to say that again, I'm not shitting on any of the players in this round or game, all I'm saying is that the game sucks in this department. So what are the guys main actually doing? They don't peek him because of one reason: aim assist. If they peek him, they need to rely on their own skill first in order to flick onto him to then be helped by aim assist. This is subject to input error, and no matter how good of a player you are, everyone can fuck up, especially in a clutch situation. So they go for the play that skips this chance of input error and they just stay there and pre-aim the corner. If they stay there, aim assist will do pretty much everything for them once Noxic decides to peek them, while Noxic himself, after peeking, has to first rely on his own aim to then get aim assist. This puts them in an advantageous angle with lower risk, and therefore it is the right thing to do in a competitive player's mindset. But that completely takes the guy behind him out of the equation. Well, it is the same thing for him essentially. If he stays and Noxic peeks him, he will get aim assist and Noxic won't. If he was to peek himself, same thing vice versa. So this now gets us into a really weird spot where, logically, all of them are forced to push to have the highest chance of winning, while at the same time the smartest decision for everyone individually would be to wait. Now this eventually leads to the guy behind him pushing and dying instantly, worsening the situation for the dudes in main. Now it's 200 damage versus 34, which would still be a guaranteed win if they push together. So same thing as before, individually and subjective to COPS, staying is better, and objectively and in any other game, pushing would be the obvious choice. Now, we get into a weird situation where they all just dance around the box, which gets us to the reason why aim assist should not be a thing in high rank and competitive gameplay. They dance around the box, but aiming in a situation like this is really weird. If you aim at the guy and he moves back towards the box, there are 2 things that could be happening. Either your aim assist does the aiming, or you have to aim yourself. Thanks to aim assist being an inconsistent mess, you don't really know which of the 2 it will end up being. If you decide to aim yourself and aim assist also aims, you will end up over flicking into the box by a landslide, because your motion goes on top of aim assist in that scenario. If you decide not to aim though, and aim assist just does nothing, like it did for Noxic a few seconds earlier for example, you will be stuck with your crosshair somewhere in thin air. The dudes trying to kill Noxic here seem to have gone for the wrong choice a few times, and so they both die and give Noxic a somewhat deserved 1 vs 3 ace clutch. But you know what the bad thing about all of this is? Who wins and who loses in this round did not depend on a person's aiming skill, but it depended on an assist that is so overpowered that not using it would put you at an immense and uncompensatable disadvantage, but using it puts you into a situation where every gunfight turns into gambling, whether it will malfunction or not. Another thing that you should consider is that being able to skip aiming in a game based on aiming makes the game incredibly easy and lowers the difference between experienced players and rather new ones. Something you should consider is that in a tactical shooter, not one singular round win is important, but much rather being consistent. And fun fact about machines and code, if they work as intended, they are 100% consistent and definitely better at most inputs than humans, which it's kinda shit if the only way for you to win against anyone else is if their aim is glitches or they don't know how to use it. I don't think this sounds like a skill-based competitive game, and I don't think anyone else should think that, but we will soon go deeper into this topic. If you want to know when this happens and receive like updates on it and stuff, you could probably sub, so community posts end up in your recommended, or join my Discord where, you know, kind of the same thing I guess. So yeah, see ya.